continuing. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Usually I schedule something and it's not working.
Let's answer the
So
questions.
what we're going to do is we're now going to take some questions, okay?
Let's go to the back of the chat because I think at the beginning people had some questions.
It's really slow. Okay. We're going to go up and we're going to scroll through and we're going to take some questions.
Are you from Netherlands? No.
No, I don't think that was towards us. What programming languages do you learn at ETH?
As a chemist, you learn probably
Python.
Python, maybe like
MATLAB.
That's it.
MATLAB. I don't know. It depends. In computer science, they learn a lot of stuff. But I didn't learn any programming language
as a master's here.
No, I already knew.
Yeah, but for me it feels like it depends on what you're tasked to do. Like if I got tasked to design an Arduino script, I would learn C.
Yeah, or if you took like a business class, you would learn R.
Or exactly. Or if you do some like data analysis, you would take R.
Yeah.
So I would say everything is accessible depending on what you choose.
Yeah. Should we be recording this in the
podcast? Why not?
Yeah. Why not?
Girls, how do you study when you don't feel like it? How do you stay disciplined without procrastinating?
Very good question. I think we've answered
that was our podcast like last week.
But it was how do you study when you're sick?
Yeah, how do you study when you're sick? Basically what I do, it's like not even about motivation. It's just about discipline.
What I figured for me, something that I figured this like a couple of weeks ago only, that I probably would manage to study so good during my studies because I'm so competitive. And it's not like I'm competitive towards others, because I've always been competing in sports where it matters how you perform towards yourself. You can't really compete in others in a material sport like that. So I figured now that I got to, I have managed to utilize my very competitive side in order to always like prove against if I think I'm gonna fail, no, you're not.
But
so
also
always,
you keep thinking that there's someone maybe in the world working on that exact problem, and if you're not gonna do it fast enough, someone's gonna publish a paper about it like faster than you are.
You're taking examples that doesn't really apply if you study first year of algebra. Like someone's gonna publish this matrix before me.
Yeah, but okay, if you're studying, what actually helps is, I don't know,
candy.
Yeah, like cookies.
Yeah.
So what really helps
Treating
me
yourself.
is like cookies and tea and writing lists and crossing.
Yes, lists are amazing.
Oh, just writing and crossing, writing and crossing.
Yeah, you have to like do something that I don't know, maybe like watch a movie or like do some sports, do something that distracts you from that problem, and it will come naturally back.
For me, like the in regards of procrastination, when you rest, you rest. When you work, you work.
Yeah.
Don't do like Facebook with my books open.
I have recently a rule that I close all my tabs in the browser when I go home. So it's like until when I'm at work, I can like have thousands of tabs open, but when I go home, I have to close them all. So I'm like done with the day. That's my new rule. You know,
that's especially important for PhD, I think.
Yeah.
Or just if you're working a lot and if you're like,
This is a good question. Is mechanical engineering grad school more fun than undergrad? I think, well, we don't have to say mechanical. We can say
I think that goes for all.
Like, way better. Like, grad school is way better than undergrad.
Yeah.
Like,
like you have a life finally.
You get to
live.
do what you like.
Yeah, you actually
get paid for
study what you like.
You don't always get paid for it.
We weren't paid.
In Europe, you don't get paid for it. This in the US.
You got a scholarship to study here, but you weren't paid.
No, but like, I mean, grad school also is a PhD, right?
It's like a combined master's
like
PhD.
A master's
I know
is
that, but still
way better than undergrad.
Yeah.
No sound.
In that respect.
Yeah.
No sound.
Because you're also like older. You have what?
Sound. This is so weird.
Can someone message?
Wow.
I feel so
sorry, guys.
Bad.
Come on, girls.
We're gonna fix it next time. I'm so sorry.
You can try to read the lips.
Best stream.
so sorry. We're
Hello.
just like so focused on the podcast, so you should really go and listen to the podcast now.
Yeah.
It was
Now that
so
you
good.
missed what we talked about, you're going to have to go back to the podcast.
Please talk more research work in combustion,
we
propulsion,
are,
and sustainability.
we were watching live. It's live. It's just we don't watch it anymore.
Yeah, the
Sorry.
reason why we're not going to talk about more research work in combustion, propulsion, and sustainability is that I guess...
Because I have no clue about that.
Yeah,
I mean, I know combustion and propulsion, but you know sustainability.
Yeah, but I guess we want to be more open
What
to
are
everyone.
those
So
words even?
sustainability.
I know combustion. When you burn something, right?
Yeah.
Ba ba ba.
I
We're going to the next questions, but right now it just says help, help. No sound. No sound.
So
Help.
Sorry.
Chess, look at the comments.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone wrote on Facebook. Yeah, we got like 5 messages on Facebook.
Yeah,
Sorry.
guys, we're so sorry.
I'm so sorry,
I'm
guys.
so like impressed that people actually stayed. Like,
I think they are talking about reviving a dead goat right now.
Wow, that was very close. Yes.
Very
it
close.
was curling, but...
I would tell you a chemistry joke, but all the good ones are gone. Huh. Huh. Thank you, Miriam. That was
Thank you, Miriam. Thank you.
Nothing... Oh, they wrote us on Instagram too.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to scroll to find
I feel
another
so
question.
bad
Do you
for
have
them.
questions? Just write them down. 'Cause
I'm getting
we're lost
assaulted right now by having no sound. Wow. This is so desperate.
Yeah, we're getting at the end.
The girls in the middle is explaining the wage gap.
I have to
I
wait. There's a question. I have to sleep. Come on.
I have to sleep for
I have
school
trip
tomorrow.
tomorrow. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I texted them on Facebook. Thank you. I thought
Sorry,
she was
guys,
gonna
I'm just
grab her
trying
phone.
to find a question.
I get really happy to like see how committed everyone are to like messaging us and like interacting with us. That's really encouraging.
Okay,
Like,
the
how-
question. Wait, I found there's a question.
there's how did you choose your type of engineering? How did you choose your type of engineering and how did you know it was right for you? I enjoy math and physics, following formulas. Would engineering be right for me? Thanks, I love your channel.
Aw, thank you, Naira. How did I choose? I hated chemistry and I hated electronics
Yeah,
and I liked physics, so I just went for mechanical
yeah.
and then that's how I did that.
But
How
if
did
you
you?
like
Yeah.
formulas, I mean, and math and stuff, it could be like you can do something theoretical.
I
stuff
think
theoretical.
engineering would be right for
The
you.
Yeah, I just crossed out everything I didn't like I don't know, management, civil engineering. I thought I didn't like mechanical engineering, but now I'm technically doing mechanical engineering, so I just didn't really know. It's hard to know what these words
Yeah.
mean when you're not into it.
I think they
Yeah.
all cross over. It's really what you want to do, like within engineering as a whole.
Yeah.
Like if you're like, oh, I want to work in batteries, then just
Yeah.
figure out what disciplines.
Yeah, and
work in
you can get there
batteries.
from electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, physics, chemistry. So it's not too, like if you choose the wrong one, you will always be able to pivot to something you like.
Yeah.
So I don't like how do you know it was right for you? Well, I made chemical engineering right for me. If I would be forced to study organic chemistry all day, it wouldn't be right for me. But
Yeah,
I have
exactly.
the ability to pivot within my field.
Yeah.
I think it's
So basically, Naira, I think engineering would be right for you. If you like math and physics and formulas
just
and
figure
stuff.
out what's gonna be good for you by doing different things. Take challenges.
Yeah, like
look
do you
for
like robotics
opportunities.
or like enter hackathons
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
design
and
competitions.
then you find what's best for you.
Okay.
Oh, I'm like so like overwhelmed by how committed everyone are to like trying to help us with like writing us on Facebook and
Okay,
Instagram.
here we
Okay.
go. So that was already answered.
We answered
Yeah.
this. Talking for 30 minutes.
Yeah, but we had a great time, so it's not really a
Yeah.
problem.
We recorded a podcast.
Now you have to
so-
do it all over again.
Okay,
Nope.
here we got some questions.
Okay, let's go.
Electrical engineering, yeah, we'll find someone.
Yeah, we'll find someone
Yeah.
to do electrical engineering. I am a pre-med major that wants to switch to mechanical engineering. Is it is this a good switch and will it be difficult?
Yeah, do a medical engineering.
No, for like
biomedical. I mean, biomed is a subset of mechanical.
There's so many things there, and it's super useful for society. Think of it.
I know, yeah.
It's like crazy.
At my home uni, we have like a whole master's program like developed for, like it's designed for development of like X-rays machine, and it's literally called medical engineering.
Yeah, my neighbor. He was a great neighbor.
Yeah.
He was doing medical engineering here at DTH Masters.
Yeah.
So, and he was like still an engineer, so he was doing a lot of programming and like designing the machine and figuring out how they work and stuff like that. So, if you're really into it, I mean, you can do that. It's super interesting.
Whether or not it will be difficult, I guess it depends on like, did you choose pre-med because you're really interested in memorizing Latin names? Or like...
Or do you want to help people, help the society? Then it's perfect for you.
Aside from like memorizing Latin name, do you know anything about math? And if so, you will manage.
So Jessica, we think it's a great idea.
Yeah.
So maybe also consider medical engineering instead of mechanical.
I know actually some people from my home unit, they started in bioengineering, and then when they studied 1 year, they started studying to medicine. And then they were actually able to take some courses in account to get like a double diploma. So cool. Take a sabbatical from your pre-med and then start mechanical, and maybe you can take the courses in account if you change your mind, so you don't lose a year.
Juani, are you all mechanical engineers? No. I'm mechanical.
Well, Jazz
she's chemical, and she's not even an engineer.
Just chemist.
She's an imposter.
Well, you invited me to this thingy. You know?
Just keep showing up.
Yeah,
we just keep trying to make a plan, and you keep showing up. Were you afraid or intimidated that being a woman you chose mechanical engineering, which is more male dominated, not to be sexist or anything? I wasn't intimidated. I was just the main thing was that I was scared that I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
And then I was a lot better than most of the people.
I haven't thought about it at all when I was like planning to do science. I didn't even have this in my mind that like it's a lot of male professors, a lot of, male scientists. Doesn't matter.
I would say 99% of the guys are nice. And the other 1% are decent.
I would say less than that.
Yeah, same.
There's a lot of mechanical engineering questions, guys.
Oh,
you're gonna make Elizabeth and Vika feel bad that they're not in the best profession ever.
I feel like mechanical engineer have all the options for masters.
No, a lot of options.
Yeah, but they have it's...
Oh, yeah.
The basis is so broad because like fluid dynamics and like robotics programming and like solid structures, that's like applicable to all kind of fields. You could probably go into civil engineering, like you could pivot into my field, like batteries and energy. You can do everything.
So Karthik rocks. I think mechanical engineers have a lot of options for. I'm a passionate person. I want to complete my studying in European communities, but I don't find a scholarship to accomplish my studying.
This was one of the questions we say we have a hard time to answer, but we didn't have sound when we said that.
Yeah, we have problems answering some of these questions because we're not the right people to ask. In terms of scholarships, it's what your country offers and what the school offers you, and then there's some private places that you can apply to.
I got the scholarship from ETH. Actually, not from ETH. It's like I applied for a scholarship at ETH, but then they were like, we're not going to give you the ETH scholarship, but we're going to give you a scholarship from like Swiss Chemical Society.
Yeah.
So,
but like,
and there's no way to apply for that scholarship unless the university nominates you.
So we can't help you with like we know special cases, but we can't help you with questions like that.
Yeah.
And also when we get questions like how do I become a NASA engineer, we can't really help you with that either because we have no experience in that.
I wish I'd known myself, maybe I'll be then a space engineer.
Yeah, and also we're not American.
But if you ask me something about hydrogen production, I might be able to answer.
Yeah. This is a good question. What do you guys think about environmental engineering?
I think it's great. It also is very diverse, right?
Yeah.
It's very important.
Like for me, like I feel like I have like in regarding environmental engineering and engineering management, I feel like those kind of fields you can pivot in from. You can go from mechanical engineering to go into those kind of masters. So you can start with one of those broader backgrounds and then pivot into those.
And also, you kind of need
But
you kind of need a broad background for that, right? In environmental
Yeah.
engineering, you probably need to know, like, I don't know, maybe biology or geology
But I
and
feel like
engineering at the same time.
if you have a bachelor in environmental engineering or engineering management, I think it's harder to pivot out to other fields. I think it's hard to take a bachelor in environmental engineering and a master's in mechanical
I
engineering.
think that's still possible on that
It's
level.
still possible, but
It depends
you lose some of the
on
broad
yourself.
background.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know.
But it's an important. It's a field.
I'm
It's
not even an
definitely a
engineer.
field for the future, environmental engineering.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
If
I
that's-
think
if
so
that's what
too.
you're
It's, like,
passionate about.
definitely. I feel like there's going to be an environmental sector of every company
Yeah.
in the
So
future.
if that's what you're passionate about, go for it. Definitely.
Elizabeth, what do you think about hydrogen production?
Yeah, that's what I do. I think it's the most interesting concept we have for future energy.
Oh,
Yeah,
I think. What about solar cells?
that's hydrogen production.
No,
yeah,
not
if we use
always.
how are you gonna utilize the solar energy?
You
how
can,
are we
you
gonna
can
store it?
Like
How are you gonna store it?
Batteries, lithium-ion batteries. For
How do we
example.
have resources? How do we have resources for that?
Well, Switzerland actually stores it
No?
in like
Yeah.
water, for example.
Yeah, but like
Pumps the
where you
water
don't
up.
have water in heights,
Where?
like Tanzania, Morocco,
Yeah,
Egypt.
but still, you can have like you can store it into stationary batteries.
But
like
we don't have
lithium batteries.
enough, like we have so much scarcity of those materials. So
Yeah, but we can change the technology that we use for batteries. My group, for example, works on novel batteries that go beyond lithium technologies.
yeah, mine group too.
Yeah.
But
So-
like I feel like batteries is not a great concept for fuel. So I feel like hydrogen is the best solution for both long-time energy storage because there's no self-discharge in difference to batteries, and it's also like very portable.
What
so-
about if it explodes?
Well, gasoline also explodes, but like people don't talk about that. So it's
But you need something to store it in the huge volumes of.
yeah, people are
hydrogen.
talking about pumping carbon dioxide under the ground. So like, why can't we
Yeah.
pump?
That was really funny, that course we took.
Yeah.
Someone wrote, I work in renewable energy and environmental engineering is huge. That's cool.
Yeah, great.
Someone wrote, maybe this is a question.
Just like to anyone, if you feel very passionate about any field of engineering, don't hesitate to pursue it because others will think it's weird, it's not popular right now. Like if you are really passionate about petrochemistry and you feel like I can't go into it because everyone hates on gasoline right now, don't feel like that because if you're really good at something, if you really care, there will be a position
Or
for you.
nuclear
in it.
energy.
Yeah. So like whatever your like passion lies, go there.
Yeah. Mohammed, I'm just going to answer these two questions quickly. Is there a market for mechanical engineering, or is the mechanical engineering market dead in Canada? I'm not sure. I don't think so, but yeah, I haven't
You also
done
don't know, right?
much market research about that. I'm sorry. Harash. After a degree in mechanical engineering, let's say I can't find a job. Anything else I can do, get with a mechanical engineering job? Yeah, I mean, one of my friends got a job at Microsoft because he just like learned some computing programs and then got a job as Microsoft as a software engineer.
Yeah.
And then another one of my friends got a job at a bank doing like
Software developer?
yeah,
whatever?
like
Yeah.
some sort of script developer or IT or whatever, but with like no previous experience, just like mechanical engineering bachelor's. So I literally feel like you can get any of those jobs, even if they're not engineering, just with your engineering degree.
For Krishnik, how do you deal with financial aspect of university?
How do
Oh,
you manage-
Dominic, hi. Hey.
Who's Dominic?
That's my lab colleague.
Nice.
How do you enjoy your vacation, huh?
No, but like to yeah, hi Dominic, whatever. I think this is a really interesting question from Krishnik.
Yeah, how do you deal with money?
But I also think that's it depends very much where you're from. Like I'm from Sweden and we get some finance from state, but we're also
Yeah.
able to take a really good loan to study. Although like I chose to work like part-time during my entire bachelor's.
I got the scholarship, and also I worked as a teaching assistant. That is also an option,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
If you're good at some subject, or if you previously did a subject, and then you can ask your professor or something like
The
that.
main thing to remember is like you don't have to rush. Like you can get a part-time job and do your master's. Like you have your whole life to get your master's. You can also take out a loan,
Yeah.
but I think it's better to work part-time and do the master's slower than it is to take out a loan
I
and then pay it back for
Yeah.
like the next 5 years.
I think Krishnik is asking good questions. Like, also, how do you not compare yourself from others? Like, I'm in a class where a lot of people are smart, and sometimes I feel
I
intimidated.
think we also talked about that on one
Yeah.
of the podcasts. That if you keep comparing yourself to others, you're probably never going to succeed, or you're never gonna like sleep well. You know.
Yeah. I was thinking about this the other day because I was thinking about like when deciding where I want to work, I'm currently in a position where I'd rather decide who do I want to work for, like what kind of leader do I want. And right now, after 5 years of school and 2 internships at like Stanford and PSI, which are top like research facilities, I feel like my next leader should be someone who's really managed to like encourage me and to make me feel like I'm actually good, because after these 5 years of comparing myself to very, very skilled persons, I feel like a bit low in confidence.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Elizabeth also mentioned previously in the podcast when you didn't hear it
Yeah.
about imposter
Imposter
syndrome.
syndrome, yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you think that you're taking a job and you don't think you're worth enough, and you're afraid that someone will notice that.
Yeah.
But it's just natural feeling. No one is actually as like
No one knows
good in
everything.
exactly. So you just
We're
do
all
what
just
is-
faking it.
Yeah.
We're not actually
Fake it till
engineers
you make
either.
it.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think like
I mean, especially not Vika.
so what I would do, I would surround myself with
If you also feel like like you're being, I don't know, pushed by your engineering friends and you're not an engineer, please shout out to me, because I sometimes feel like, you know, this is like
okay.
a
Elizabeth was
racism
talking and you
Yeah.
just
towards
interrupted her with your
non-engineers.
lesser knowledge.
yeah, to like Krishnik, I can't pronounce your name, but like surround yourself by people that manage to motivate you and that manage to make you feel good. I think that's the best thing you can do.
Yeah.
Thank you, Krishnik, and thank you, Dominic,
Thank
for
you for
supporting Vika's friend.
subscribing.
There are a lot more questions. I think we answered most of them, actually. I'm really sorry that the live stream did not, I mean, it did work. We just forgot to check if the audio was on.
But like,
Yeah.
I feel like if we would have been 3 guys, no one would have stayed.
So
Well,
thank you, guys.
That's a topic for another podcast.
If you guys want to hear the first part of the what we were talking
Record.
about, it will be online, and I will link it
We
in
suggest
this.
you sync it with a video. You just like listen and at the same time watch.
Oh yeah, maybe
My
I
curling
could
moves would
sync
make
the
sense.
audio.
Yeah, maybe you can do that actually.
That's when they were like, "Oh, I think she's killing a goat." Okay, thanks for listening, guys. We will definitely do
Oh,
something.
it's so late.
Yeah, we're definitely
so
gonna
long.
do another podcast recording. I'm
Yeah.
really sorry about this, and we're definitely gonna do another live stream. Maybe we can do
Better.
it next week. We'll schedule one,
do it next
and
week.
I will make sure everything is working beforehand.
Do you
Yeah.
prefer us to do it on like weekdays or weekends?
It doesn't matter, I guess.
But like for
No,
them,
some people
I
are
don't-
like. Did
yeah.
you see? Hi from Istanbul. Hi
Oh,
from
yeah.
India. Hi
I
from
forgot.
Montreal.
People are international.
Yeah,
What a
not
time.
everyone's from Sweden, Elizabeth.
What a time we live in.
Whoa.
Okay, bye guys. Thanks for tuning in.